Good morning, guys. In today's video I'm going to show another one of my Christmas presents. It was from the pre-owned section in eBay, where the jacket is ripped. So this is Goes to the Abyss. I do have the soundtrack and the DVD to go with the film. This isn't the 3D book when you get the 3D glasses. I think this is probably one of the original ones that came out, because I remember I was living in Bradford at the time in West Yorkshire when Goes to the Abyss, back in I think it was 2001, when Goes to the Abyss was actually premiered at Bradford IMAX Museum 3D, but I didn't see it until last year when it was on YouTube. So I got the book to go with the soundtrack and the film. So it's kind of like a set that I have. But I am also after the Go See Abyss 3D that you get the glasses with as well. So let's take a look inside. So this is from one of James Cameron's expeditions when he went down with Bill Paxton to go and visit the wreck. Because when they went and visited the wreck in Ghost of the Abyss DVD, it was at the time when the Twin Towers got collided into by a terrorist who hijacked the planes, because they were doing the expedition at that point. As you can see, they're planning the expedition there. This is one of Titanic's, I think it's, first class accommodation. My first class rooms. Got Ismay and the Captain Smith there. That's Murdoch there as well. Tito's life jackets. There are the pages are kind of sticking together a little bit. There's trousers. It's one of Ken Marshall's drawings. My friend is actually related to Asta. It's her 7th cousin, I think. Yeah, it's her 7th cousin, and she's related to Asta as a friend of mine. And she found out through doing an ancestry DNA where you swab in her cheek, and she messaged me and she said that, oh, I've just done the swab and cheek ancestry. And I was like, right, because I'm curious, I'm wanting to do it, and I'm curious, to find out who my ancestors are, and things like that. And I'm quite curious. See, I got recommended to do one to see if I was related to any of the ancient Egyptians by someone in the library, so they recommended it to me. So I will be doing one because I am actually quite curious. And so she messaged me and she said, I found some out. And I was like, right. And she said, I'm related to Asta and Jack Thayer from the Titanic. And I was like, I couldn't like process what she was saying, and I was like, I had to read it, to do it, because I'm actually, it wasn't too long ago, like a few weeks before that, I was actually looking into getting a book on the Astors, and she sent me the information through that she got from the ancestors, that said that she's related to Jack Thayer. I think he's a cousin removed, and I think that Astor is her seventh cousin. So it was kind of, yeah, it was very unexpected. I don't think she was expecting, to expecting that, but she found out via the ancestry from the swab in her cheek. And a lot of people in the Titanic community, they kind of bully people, due to which I did tell my friend. I said, do be careful when you're mentioning about you're related to people that was on the Titanic, and she was like, why? And I said, because a lot of people have been facing quite a lot of bullying from people on various Titanic sites, because with them having a relative, they have a direct contact with the ship, and a lot of people, well, some people in the community, don't really like that. They get really jealous and start to block them from groups and things, and just be really mean to them. And she was like, well, how do you know this? And I said, because I saw it, because I was in a group, and one lady came onto the group, and she said she's just left another group because they were being mean to her, and bullying her, because when she told them she was related to someone who was from the Titanic, and someone commented and said, yeah, they would do, because you have a direct contact to the ship. That's why they targeted you, really. And my friend was like, that's just me. And I was like, well, this is what they do. Some people are not nice to people. They become quite jealous because they have their relatives to someone who has a direct contact to the ship. I mean, I've spoken to someone who found out that they had connections to Ismay. So I have spoken to quite a few of their relatives, and I'm friends with one of their relatives. So, I'm not I'm not a jealous person anyway. So yeah, it can get quite crazy in the Titanic community. I know that I try not to spend a lot of time in the Titanic groups because of how crazy it can get with people, and they gatekeep it. They do this with it, do that with it. They ban to the officers, they ban to call Thomas Andrews a murderer, things like that. So I tend to not really get involved in groups as much as I can. I just stay on my own on Discord and things. And that's the Crow's Nest, where Frederick Fleek was, which is actually bent right over onto the office quarters. That's a telemotor there. This is actually inside the wreck now. McConey room. So yeah, I do try and stay out of a lot of Titanic groups as much as I can, really. They can get quite stressful. That's the promenade deck where everyone used to walk down. So this is the grand staircase. So the grand staircase is actually where the glass dome was. So you're actually looking down, which is what this picture's referring to. This isn't this. It's not this. It's not. This isn't this. It's from I would say it's from the top of the glass dome, kind of looking down. So this isn't a picture of the grand staircase. This is actually a picture of A deck, but a lot of people seem to kind of think it's the grand staircase. This isn't showing the grand staircase. This is actually showing A deck. which I think is this picture that a lot of people have as the grand staircase. But that's the grand staircase. This is from the glass dome. So here, you're looking at the glass dome there, and you're looking down, which is what that's showing, the top of where the glass dome is, and you're looking down. But I think this is the one that they have as the grand staircase, but if I do have a picture linked which actually is showing a deck, and I think it is that picture. Yeah, this is a deck here. This is a deck. Which is that. Because if you look, that's a deck, that's what it's showing. I mean, to get this picture, you wouldn't be able to, because it's looking from the top of the glass dome downwards, so there wouldn't be an exact picture for this one. You can get one close enough, but it wouldn't still be accurate. So lifts. See that? Is this the reception room? As you can see, there's glass here that's still intact, which is this. So glass here is still intact. You know what this is? Them doors there. It says D deck. It's them doors. So these are lifts, which are these here. Well, actually, no. It's where everyone would enter through these doors, which are here. These glass here. They're still intact. So it's exploring the Titanic. And that's one of the davits that would hold the lifeboats. It's on the starboard side. Ken Marshall, who looks exactly the same now as he did when he was in Ghost of the Abyss. That's the bow. It's a crow's nest. It's James Cameron. It's actually glass balls that are actually still standing up. It's kind of, these are the wash basins here. As you can see, the glass is still intact. That's someone's hat that they left behind. As you can see, the lamp is still attached into the wall there. Which is that. These here are that. Then this is this. So this is this. So glass is still intact in there. And that's where the sink would be. And this is Ismay's room. How sweet. I think that's a medicine ball, which is still stood upright. You know, for people who get seasickness and things. But then I think they used to have cabin biscuits. Did the 3rd class for seasickness. So these are boilers. So them are them. And this is where I think it's the boilerman would go down them steps there, like here. And Thomas Andrews installed a drinking fountain for them. Titanic's propellers. The difference is tell the difference between Titanic and the Olympic is if you look at the propellers, Titanic is a 3 propeller blade, whilst Olympic had 4. That's another way you can also tell the difference in what you're looking at. And also, I mean, I don't really know much about the Olympic, but there is another way you can tell the difference. I think it's to do with the extended bridge wing. But there is also something which you can't rely on as well to be able to tell the difference. But I can't really remember what that is. I haven't really looked too much into the Olympic to really speak, to be fair. So that's a subject I don't really mention because I'm not fully aware of things. And I don't want to say something just in case it's wrong. So I tend to not say anything. So even when I'm doing research on Titanic, I do find difficult because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I do try and be careful with what I say, and I always double check to make sure. Due to there are people in Facebook groups that know for sure, so I do tend to just double check really, because the last thing you want to be is reading wrong information and thinking that it's right when it's actually wrong. So I always like to double check to make sure, especially with Titanic things, and because I do really care about the research of it, and I'm not really interested in knowing crap about it, so I always kind of double check. So if anyone wanted to know about it, I would have the right information to tell them, so there weren't. But I knew as soon as I first started with Titanic, I knew that there'd be a lot of misinformation out there. I knew there would be. I knew it would not be an easy ride. And I do have, and people have been willing to help me. It's not been easy. I'm hoping to do a diploma in Titanic. Hopefully when Centre of Excellence do the modules for it, because it is a green light, so they are really hoping to get it done. So and that's the end, and that will go on my CV, even though I am in work, but it will go on my CV to say that I've been doing furthermore education. So and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this flip through, guys, and me rambling about friends of mine and Titanic relatives and information and the book itself. Alright, guys, I'll be doing more videos, so if you are interested and you want to hear more from me, do give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I will be speaking more about my religious paths and things like that, because I need to do more videos on them, because I've just recently, I'm still involved in Hellenic Wiccan, but I've recently gone into Roman Wiccan. due to Medusa and things. So if you are interested in hearing about that, do stick around. If you're not interested in that, then it's completely fine. So guys, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.